You're going to be pregnant and you're going to be powerful. You're going to be bold and you're going to be beautiful. Go forward in your boldness and in your beauty. With this, let's start our today's podcast, that is latest advances in prenatal care. With me, Dr. Sonal Singhal is there. She is an expert with obstetrics and gynecology. Welcome, ma'am, to the show.
Yeah, Pooja.
Thank you, ma'am. So let's start with the questions. Okay. So my first question to you is, what are the most significant advances in prenatal care you are seeing nowadays?
Okay. So, our prenatal care is directed towards identifying any risk factor to the mother or the baby in initial stages before it has a serious effect on the growing pregnancy.
Okay.
Right. So, all these, we have a lot of recent advances like we have double marker, the marker tests, biochemical marker tests for
Okay.
identifying chromosomal abnormalities. The recent addition to it is predicting high BP in later gestation, also right in the first trimester.
Okay.
Then, with 3D ultrasounds, with the use of fetal echo, and with the use of fetal neurosonography, we are able to identify any structural, cardiac, neurological issues with the baby, identify it much early, and take remedial measures if required. And with your NIPT, non-invasive prenatal testing,
Okay.
we are able to identify the chromosomal abnormalities with much more accuracy and offer specific treatment accordingly.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you for the latest discussing the latest advances. My next question to you is that how these advances has impacted the health of the mother and the child.
Definitely, it has impacted in a better way. We are able to offer these tests to the ladies who require these tests. In fact, we have inverted the pyramid of care. Earlier, we were offering certain tests to only a certain subgroup of ladies. Now, we have identified that we should have a screening test for each and every pregnancy.
Okay.
And once we have screened them out, then those who are found to be high risk, they are offered the advanced tests or further management accordingly.
Okay.
And if they are low risk, then they are coming for a routine antenatal care. So
Okay.
definitely with specific and tailor-made treatment for and pregnancy care, we are having better outcome for the mother as well as the baby.
Okay, ma'am. So, ma'am, as you are aware that technology is overpowering everywhere, right, in every field. So, what do you think? Like, what will technology play a crucial role in the latest
Technology is
pregnancies?
definitely playing a very crucial role in our pregnancy care. See, you got digital pregnancy records. We can see the previous findings. No, even if the patient forgets to bring certain things, we have all the records with us. Then your the genetic testing has advanced so much because of the technological advances. Patients can do their BP monitoring at home. We have continuous glucose monitors where they can monitor their sugars and have better control.
Yes.
Similarly, we have these home tachometers where they are able to monitor the preterm contractions also. So we are able to identify if anyone's going in preterm labor or she's having preterm contractions, and she can report to the hospital and we can take specific actions for that.
Okay.
So definitely technology is a big boon in our hand and we are taking full advantage of it.
Okay, ma'am. So, ma'am, moving to prenatal testing and screening. Okay. So, what are the types of prenatal testing and screening?
Okay, so prenatal tests are directed towards identifying any structural or chromosomal abnormality in the fetus, in fact, even infections. So, congenital infections, which can have an impact on the baby's growth and development. So, we have prenatal tests classified as invasive and non invasive. In the non invasive category, we have your ultrasounds, the 3D ultrasounds, even MRI for placental abnormalities, and NIPT or non-invasive prenatal testing,
Okay.
which has come up in a very big way these days. And because its cost has decreased, we are able to offer it to most of our patients, especially those who are about 35.
Okay.
Then the invasive testing is for specific group where we find that they are at a high risk, and that includes your chorionic villus sampling and your amniocentesis.
Okay, ma'am. So, ma'am, sometimes patients may come in your OPD. They may ask a lot of questions about limitations and benefit of these prenatal testing and screening, right?
Yeah.
So, how do you counsel your patients about the limitations and benefits of prenatal testings?
So we know their sensitivity, their specificity,
Mm-hmm.
and after a detailed history and examination, and best part is that our patients are so aware these days that it's not difficult to counsel them. And we suggest certain tests, they are aware, they read about it, and then there is definitely the acceptance is there because nowadays these tests are readily available
Mm-hmm.
and they are quite affordable.
Okay.
So we are able to counsel them that see, this particular test is going to identify a certain abnormality. You are at a high risk for certain things. Supposing someone's diabetic, she would require a fetal echo. If someone's on anti-epileptic medicines, we know that no, evaluating her neural fetus neural system is very important. So we are able to offer these tests specifically, and patients are also complying because they are pretty aware.
Okay. So, ma'am, my next question to you is about lifestyle modifications and prenatal care, right? Nowadays, you know that the going to be parents are stressed out. They both are working, right? So, what advice you're going to give to your patients to make lifestyle modifications to have a healthy pregnancy?
See, the couples are coming to us for preconception counseling. So we are identifying then if they are having any BMI disorders, like if they are obese or underweight, or they are having any eating issues, if they are into substance abuse, alcohol, smoking, drugs. So they are able to, we suggest them to like go for a healthy lifestyle, have regular physical activity. Sometimes they are all into office work, sitting jobs. They have no physical activity at all. So we suggest the importance of being regular with their exercise, having a healthy diet, avoid junk food, and then, of course, the outcome is better for them as well as for the baby and for us.
Yes. So, ma'am, like nowadays, pregnancies comes with lots of complications, right? So, like how prenatal care can play a major role in avoiding those complications.
Definitely, prenatal care is the only thing which has changed the statistics of maternal morbidity and mortality, even the neonatal morbidity and mortality. With good antenatal care, we are identifying conditions like anemia, hypertension, thyroid dysfunctions, diabetes at a much early stage in pregnancy, and we are able to offer corrective measures for all these things, whether it's their diet, whether it's exercise, or with medication, or having a multidisciplinary approach for such patients. So definitely with good care they are able to we are able to minimize the complications of these things,
Okay.
and patients are aware and
Okay.
making them aware.
Okay. So, ma'am, like what special considerations you make during your OPDs or during your IPDs with such patients who are coming with complications and high risk pregnancies?
Specific tailor-made treatment for
Okay.
everyone.
Okay.
We are prioritizing individualized care. It's not like earlier days we used to just give iron, calcium in government hospitals when we were doing the antenatal OPDs. We hardly had time. There was so much of rush. So, and mostly the patients were also low risk. Nowadays, because of the advanced maternal age, with that comes BP, sugar, everything in
Yeah.
a package, in a
Okay.
bundle.
Okay.
So our intention is to identify high risk factors right in the beginning
Okay.
and offer specific treatments, specific investigations as per the need
Mm-hmm.
throughout the pregnancy journey.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, what advice you are going to give to your patients? Like, what signs and symptoms they are having, and they need to contact you in the OPD or in the hospital.
Okay. So with every gestation or stage of gestation, the warning symptoms can be different. So anytime during pregnancy, there's bleeding, there's severe pain, there is any headache, or any water discharge. And after 28 weeks, we ask them to monitor their daily movement count. And if any change is there, patients are aware. We've been telling them in each and every antenatal visit to look out for certain things. So they report to us in the OPD or in the emergency.
Okay. Okay, ma'am. Okay. Sometimes patient may come in anxiety and lot of stress about the pregnancy, right? So, what advice you're going to give to those people who comes in anxiety and who are having so much of stress about their pregnancy?
First and foremost, pregnancy is one of the most natural things to have in any couple. And it being a parent should be the most beautiful journey in any couple's life. So, uh, probably this level of stress and anxiety is more so because they are staying in individual nuclear families. They don't have any elder person around to guide them, to counsel them. And besides, they are exposed to too much of literature and information on the internet,
Yes.
which gives them the scare.
Yes.
So, my advice would be to be aware, but seek your doctor's advice for certain things rather than just googling up and increasing your stress levels.
Okay.
If required, take help at home, take help at work, and be communicative with your doctor during the visits. Try and make a list of your questions whenever you come for the antenatal care, and then we'll be able to answer all of them rather than like you just having some kind of a fear inside and unnecessarily taking stress.
Right, ma'am.
Yeah.
Ma'am.
And choose a
Yes.
doctor who and the institute where you don't get much of stress.
Okay.
You're relieved.
Okay. Okay, ma'am. Thank you. So, ma'am, nowadays, like sometimes doctors advise during early pregnancy that the women should have a lot of rest, right, with the healthy lifestyle, right? So, like, how can a woman maintain a healthy lifestyle with lots of rest and those of things?
See, Pooja, because of advanced maternal age, hormonal imbalances, and your stressful life, sometimes there are threatened miscarriages. Yes, and then we are able to identify certain things because we have better investigations like ultrasound and all. So, if we have identified a risk factor, sometimes we are forced to suggest bed rest to such patients.
Okay.
And if they are on rest, these days they can work from home and manage their work life balance. If they are like forced to have a bed rest, at times they can just do more of stretching exercises, eat balanced diet, have lots of water so that they're not constipated, have healthy food.
Okay.
So that's how they can like cope with this phase. And once they are in a favorable gestation where we can allow them to be moving up and about until the time that publication or the bleeding has arrested and things are better, then of course they'll be allowed to move around.
Okay, ma'am.
So that's it.
Okay. So my next question to you is about balance between work and their healthy pregnancy. What advice you are going to give to your patients?
I would suggest that they should prioritize their health, but being pregnant doesn't mean that everyone should quit their job and be on bed rest, right? If it's a healthy, normal pregnancy, the more active they are, if they eat healthy food, if they take support from home, from elders, from their doctors, and maybe involve their employer also for this thing for certain support, they'll have a healthy work-life balance and they can continue.
Okay. So, ma'am, your message and advice to pregnant ladies.
Okay. So pregnancy is not a disease, first thing. Eat healthy, maintain a good lifestyle. Before you conceive, and come for preconceptional counseling, come for regular antenatal visits, get your tests done at the suggested time. Like there are certain tests which have to be done in 12th week or 13th week, certain tests which have to be done around 18-20 weeks. So don't miss those targeted visits, and just a healthy lifestyle and prioritizing your health and your mental health also
Okay.
is what is most important. Okay. And a tip for anyone who's planning to become pregnant.
Okay. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you for sharing your expertise and knowledge with the audience. And
Thank you.
thank you, ma'am. Until next time, stay hydrated, stay peaceful mentally, and take care about yourself. Thank you.